the abolition, Labour government, the abolition of NHS England. NHS England is different to NHS Wales, NHS Scotland. And basically what Wes Streeting is doing is incorporating the bureaucracy, the administration of the NHS into the Department of Health. That's what's going on. This isn't sacking doctors, nurses, people doing your x-rays, GPs or anything along those lines. Now, of course, the trade unions will object to this abolition of the NHS because it involves thousands and thousands of job losses. How real that is, I'm not able to judge, because it's all very well saying you're getting rid of a load of administrators, but then don't you need to take on administrators to run the NHS inside the Department of Health? Who knows? I suspect you've got, there will be many examples of that. But that doesn't mean that we would simply dismiss this question as a trade union dispute. Of course, we would defend workers. We want to see them properly treated. We wouldn't want to see them thrown out on the street or anything like that. But there is a sinister side to it. And my own take on it is, well, what is Wes Streeting's plan for the NHS? And going back to my first, remarks about the reordering of the world by Trump, we all know that Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves, and I would guess Wes Streeting, i.e. the Labour government, wants to do a deal with Trump. It wants to be categorized in the, get my colours right, the green category. And I think one of the sacrifices that the Labour government will make will be us having chlorinated chicken in our supermarkets supplied by US agri industry. I'm not going to eat it, but many people will, because it will be very cheap compared with what we're used to. But another thing that I think we'll find is the already heavily privatized NHS is basically opened up to US health companies. And my fear is that with that, we get US or even more US irrationality. We all know that in the US, life expectancy is either stagnated or has declined. We all know that the United States spends a fortune on health and yet gets an extraordinarily poor return for it. Again, anecdotally, I've heard many stories of people being brilliantly treated in the US health system. They go in with something like a, ingrowing toenail, and they're given every test under the sun. The problem is, even if you've got full insurance, on the other hand, precisely because of the overuse of tests, and we're going to test you for everything approach of US hospitals in order to get insurance money, very often, even with the best coverage, when it comes to you paying your dividends and having a well-paid job, there can be a dispute between the insurance company and the hospital. And the insurance company turns around and says, we're not going to pay for that. And then you as an individual, you're in hell. And even if you're a well-off individual with employment, with insurance, the insurance company doesn't pay, and the hospital is after you to pay tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And people are just despairing under those circumstances. So my own experience, I'm healthy, I'm fit, but I've had experience, for example, of the NHS recently. Comrades who know me for a few years will say, what's different about that Jack Conrad guy? Normally he's like that. Now I don't need glasses, thanks to private laser treatment paid for and supplied by the NHS. So yeah, I'm grateful for that, but there's an irrationality that will come for us, and we end up getting US health and US results and spending a huge more more amount of money. So that's what I fear with this NHS move. So yes, of course, it's about job losses, but there's a bigger agenda, I think, to this. The last point, just wanted to let comrades know that one of our comrades, valuable comrades, Eddie Ford, anyone who reads the Weekly Worker will know our Eddie, very reliable. Every bloody week he produces an article on any subject we ask him to write. He's not an expert, but he's a bloody good journalist because he can turn his hand to anything. Well, he won't be doing anything for the next at least few weeks. He's had a stroke, which is really bad news. But the good news is I've just been in contact with him, is that he's on recovery mode. He was rushed into hospital. This is March the 8th. He's now out of hospital, and he hopefully will be back writing within the month. So what I'd ask comrades to do, if you don't know his address, if you don't know his email address, and you want to send him a message and say how much you appreciate him, write into Weekly Worker, Peter Manson, the editor, will pass on your best wishes. So I just wanted to say also, Danny, Eddie, best wishes from me, and I think I can speak on behalf of Online Communist Forum this week as well. So speedy recovery, Eddie Ford.